Today's video is all about one art style by 4 different artists across 4 different brands. So I will break it up because I've got so much to say, and we will start with American folk art as an art style. So the definition of American folk art is that it is handmade objects created by self-taught artists outside of the professional art academies, and it's reflecting aspects of everyday life, community, and national identity. So that is the definition of American folk art. American folk art you will find over various types of art. Today we are looking at the painting aspect thereof, but it can also be needlework like quilts. It can be woodwork, carvings. It can be clay. For instance, what comes to mind is the duck decoys. So I will insert photos just to show examples of the other types of American folk art. Everything classifies under the same umbrella, but for today we are going to focus on the painting aspect thereof. So the elements that you will find in a American folk art painting is probably one of the following or a combination of community and daily life. So all of these has got people in them. It's more than one person. They are busy with some sort of activity, and you can see this is people in a community, which is definitely present across all 4 puzzles that I've done for this video. So the second thing that you will find is patriotism and politics, and that I can see again across all 4 of them is the presence of the American flag. So I assume that is basically what will refer to the politic aspects of the elements that will be present. Most often than not, there will be a spiritual or religious element to it. I think across the ones that I've done, there is 2 that has got a little church on it. So definitely the presence of the religion aspect is there. And then the last thing that you will see is the nature element. So from what I can determine, all 4 that I assembled has got some sort of water body. Some is like a lake, the ocean, we've got rivers. So there is definitely water all across. All of them has got trees in them, and 3 out of the 4 has got some sort of mountain, scene, mountain image going on. Most of them in the distance, it's far off, but that is present. So another thing that I picked up on across all 4 of these is the buildings. All of them has got this logs or cabin look or planks. I don't know what you will call it where you are from. So all the buildings got that wooden element to it, and I've picked up on that across all of them. There is some of them that has got brick or more rock buildings, so not as much the bricks that we know these days, but the older rocks that they used to build foundations and walls. So that I saw in at least 2 of these. And horse carriages. There is either horse carriages or sailboats. In all of them, there is at least one of those elements, if not both of them. So that's something else that I recognize as present across all of these. I don't know if it is an element that you will see regularly, but from the ones I've got in my collection and the ones I've did, horse carriages is definitely a favorite subject. Another item I picked up on that is across the puzzles, I think only one did not have a kite. Flying kite in the air with a string. It's even nowadays, it's a popular outdoors hobby. And 3 of the puzzles that I assembled has got kites in them. So that was another thing that I picked up on. Definitely a favorite amongst the artists to include in the paintings. So let's move over to the artists. I will show you a quick time lapse for each of the puzzles I did, and I'll tell you about the artist, and after that we will quickly talk about the brands. So the first one is this one. It's called Flying Kite by the artist Heronim. Heronim was a professional name used by Harry Wysocki. So his real name was Harry Wysocki, and he was the brother of Charles Wysocki. And I wish in everything that I've got in me that I was able to include a Charles Wysocki puzzle for this video, but unfortunately to date I was unable to. get my hands on one, so we will have to do with what I've got. Heronim's paintings are categorized by joyful, big title perspectives filled with colorful detail and cheerful chaos. His art celebrates American life through vibrant depictions of parades, fairs, and famous small town scenes. His artwork is a favorite for jigsaw puzzles, particularly for Hometown Collection series, which often features scenes from American life. Now, the one we did today is indeed one of the Hometown Collection. So, background and career. He was born in Detroit. He graduated from the Art Center College of Design in Los Angeles. After serving in the Merchant Marines, he traveled to exotic ports, influencing his early works. He was influenced by Japanese art, such as that of Heroic, and later experimented with Art Nouveau and Art Deco styles. His art received numerous national and local awards and is held in the permanent collection of the Smithsonian Institute. So that is the artist in a nutshell. And after we talked about the artist, we will quickly touch on the brand as well. So stay tuned for that. So let's move over to the next one. So this next one is called The Old Boardwalk by Art Poulin. So Art Poulin, born in 1948, was an American folk artist known for his inviting landscape paintings that celebrate simplicity. Born in Waterville, Maine, to French-Canadian parents. And it is to be noted, sadly, Art Poulin passed away in 2018. Early life and background. He initially planned to join the Brothers of Christian Instruction, but found a stronger calling in music and art. He earned an undergraduate degree in fine arts and studio painting in 1975. Poulin's artwork featured inviting landscapes that blend his love for American simplicity. His work captures a timeless quality and celebrates the spirits of life's simplicities. He gained prominence as one of America's leading folk artists, with his paintings appearing on jigsaw puzzles and other home products internationally. His portfolio has been expanded and continues to be shared through the remastering of his images under the A.M. Poulin brand, carrying on his work and vision. To the best of my knowledge, his wife that survived him is doing the paintings in his style, the remaking of that paintings. I can be wrong, but that's how I understood that from the Facebook page. So aside from him being an artist, he was also a musician. He was also a classical pianist who performed at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. He was also a tenor in the U.S. Army chorus. So that is Art Poulin in a nutshell. So let's move on to the next one. This next one is called The Life of Riley by Jane Wooster Scott. So Jane Wooster Scott is an American folk artist recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records as the most reproduced artist in America, known for her nostalgic paintings of Americana and pastoral landscapes of the past. She never had a formal lesson, began painting at age 35 and creates compositions from personal thoughts and emotions rather than specific places. Her work often describes as invoking happy memories of a bygone America, is collected by celebrities and hangs in American embassies and the White House. The background and style. Wooster Scott learned to paint without formal lessons. Her art focuses on romanticized versions of the past, depicting American traditions, holidays, and customs, often feature barns, covered bridges, and rural scenes. She travels to gather ideas and photographs, but create composite scenes from her own thoughts and emotions, capture the innocent and energetic young America she loves. Her art is deeply rooted in her love for the Americana and heritage of the United States. Career and recognition. Worcesterscott.com, the artist's website, notes that she was named the most reproduced artist in America by the Guinness Book of World Records. She has sold her work to numerous famous figures, including Oprah Winfrey, Sylvester Stallone, Paul Newman, and Carol Burnett. Her paintings have been exhibited in major cities like Los Angeles and New York, with her shows often selling out. Her art is held in permanent collection at American embassies and the White House. The artist's philosophy: Wooster Scott aims to bring happiness to viewers, stating that I am a very happy person and I think it shows in my work. One thing everyone said to me without fail is that whenever I look at your work, it makes me happy, and that is good. We have enough stressful things in this world. She endeavors to seek out and paint the remaining treasures of America's heritage, laminating the toll that progress takes on the historical landscapes she portrays. So that is Jane Wooster Scott in a nutshell. So let's move on to the last one. So the last one, and unfortunately I don't have the box, is called July the 4th Seaside Celebration by Cheryl Bartley. American folk art painter Cheryl Bartley's artistic talent was apparent from an early age when she produced her first works of art as a means of communication. Raised by a French speaking family, she relied on paintbrush and a box of paint to express herself to her English speaking friends. Her early love of expressing herself with her art resulted in working for over 25 years as a graphic artist in the manufacture of wallpaper and textiles. During these years, Cheryl developed the skills necessary to understand the technical aspects of the creation of wallpaper and textile design, color theory, computer design, market trends, and the proper care and utilization of quality artist materials. Although trained as a graphic artist, Cheryl now unleashes her imagination and creativity from her folk art spirit studio. The inspiration for her lifelong fascination with telling stories with paint is revealed in her folk art's spirited creations. Each painting will enchant you with its detailed, happy scenes of simple times. She utilizes mixtures of vibrant color to produce scenes from her imagination and actual places that are warm and inviting, vibrant and exciting. Her preferred medium is acrylic on canvas or wood and watercolor on paper. Her folk art connection can be seen at her gallery in Winchester, Connecticut. Her paintings and prints are found in private collections and businesses worldwide. Cheryl holds an BA in psychology and a portfolio in fine art. It feels good to disappear into my own world on my canvas. It can be a very healing experience to feel your stress melt away as you get lost in deafening ways with color that makes you happy. I believe that creating art calls upon the natural healer within us and can lead us to spiritual healing. My personal journey of spiritual growth has manifested itself through creative expressions with various artist mediums. I have lost myself and all my cares during this process because I am so engrossed in the moment. Nothing else matters. My breathing slows and my mind opens to all possibilities. This sense of accomplishment that comes with creating a joyful place is very healing to body, mind, and spirit. So, as three of the four was new to me brands, I feel I need to include just a little bit of my thoughts on the brands as well. So, the first one I did was this one by Mega Puzzles, and the one that I did was from the Hometown collection. So, initially, when I opened the box, I was surprised to find the very thin pieces, and I thought by myself, this might be a problem and I might not enjoy this puzzle as much as some of the other brands. But I was very pleasantly surprised by this brand. The thin pieces did not take away from the enjoyment. The pieces also was only two innies and two outies. There wasn't a variety of pieces, but it didn't trouble me. There was no false fits whatsoever. I didn't have a problem putting them together. The finish, I mentioned that before, I think in the Cloudberries video, the bumpy, and just as a side note, in the meantime, I learned there's a word for that. They call it the cobblestone finish. So it did not have that cobblestone finish, and it was smooth, and there was no false fits. The fit was tight, and it was a joy to assemble, regardless of the thinner image, of the thinner pieces. So all in all, I was very pleasantly surprised. I assume this is a budget puzzle, and if you get them for cheap, absolutely, it is for a once off assembling, definitely a joy. I couldn't fault this. except for the thinner pieces. But I will get back to that because this one, thicker pieces, also 2 ins and 2 outs, we will get to that. So the next one I did was by RGS. This is a South African brand and it is from the older puzzles by them. I am familiar with this brand and I can't fault them. A little bit of a shiny finish on them. They recently did change over to matte finish. So because it's an older one, I didn't expect anything else. Variety in piece shapes, no false fits. There is that little bit of a cobblestone finish on them when they are finished. But as I said, I'm so used to these puzzles that um I I don't notice that there's anything that bugs me to such an extent that I don't want to do them. So all in all, I love this brand. The next one I did was this one by it's a Tomax, Tomax. This one, as with the mega puzzles, only 2 innies and 2 outies. There is somewhat of a gloss on them. They are quite thick. Of all 4 puzzles, this one was the thickest pieces. But did that mean that I enjoy it more than the Hometown Collection puzzle? No, it did not. I had false fits, especially in the sky piece all over. It took me longer to assemble the sky than it did doing the bottom 2/3 of the puzzle. So in this case, thickness did not equal quality. It did not equal enjoyment. So of all of the puzzles, as beautiful as this image is, let me just make it clear. I don't fault any of the images. I love them throughout. This one is the one that I enjoyed least because of the false fits of the puzzle. And I believe if this same image was on any of the other brands, I wouldn't have that problem at all. The next one, I only have the poster because somebody brought it in from America and they didn't have space for the boxes, so they only bring the puzzle pieces and the poster. It is by Crown Point Graphics. My first experience with this brand, and initially, when I opened the box, I was excited. There's a variety of piece shapes and it's matte pieces. The only matte piece puzzle between the 4 of them, and I was thinking, oh, yes, I will definitely enjoy this puzzle. So I did enjoy it, but of the 4 puzzles, this is the one with the loosest fit to such an extent that if you put a piece in, you still had to go afterward and push it in. You could almost pull them apart. It was not fully interlocking in the sense that if it is the outie is in the innie, it won't move. There was a lot of places where I had to push them back in after I assembled the pieces. Luckily for me, there wasn't any false fits. I assume by the nature of the image, it helped. And all in all, I enjoyed it. If I can get my hands on this brand again, I will definitely buy another one. But of the 4 brands, I must say the 2 budget puzzles to me was actually the 2 that I enjoyed the most. The RGS that I'm used to and the Hometown Collection puzzle was an absolute surprise. I will definitely do those again. But that is my thought on the brands. I still got so much more that I would have loved to discuss with you and talk to you about the artists, the artwork, the brands. There is just I could have gone on for another hour if you allowed me, but I know your time is precious and I do appreciate your time for watching this video. So please let me know what your thoughts on the style specifically. Who's your favorite American folk art artist? Do you love puzzling the style? And as I said, I wish I could have included a Charles Wysocki for this puzzle video, but unfortunately, up until date, I was unable to get my hands on one of his. So I feel like his name belonged together with all of these. They are apparently all famous in their own right, and I feel Charles Wysocki's puzzle should have been up there with them. So this could have been a 5 puzzle video, but unfortunately for today, I only had the 4 to focus on. So include Charles Wysocki. Who's your favorite puzzle artist out of the 5? I would love to hear your feedback. Do you love the art? Do you love puzzling the art style? Do you love the artist one more than the other? Because I must say, if you show me one picture and ask me who's the artist, I wouldn't have recognized them. Probably because I don't have so many that I can distinguish between their specific styles. For me, at this stage, it's all just one style. And if I didn't have the name of the artist on the box, I would never have guessed which one belonged to which painting. So, again, I really appreciate you watching. I appreciate your time. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.